It'll take me a little bit of getting used to have my mic so low. Oh, damn. But, alright, I'm going live. Give people a second to get back here. And of course, I don't know if you know Nutsy or not, but of course he's complaining. He loves to complain. So, make sure Omen elites Eirene. Alright, yeah. Alright. Dylan's in chat, but they'll be back, I'm sure. So, we're gonna start off by welcoming everyone to the third episode of Live from Spawn Island. Tonight we have Omen Elite's very own Eirene. Everybody knows her from her time with Omen Elite, as well as her time in Lights Out. Originally from the EU, now she is over in the Middle East. Eirene, you want to go ahead and plug your socials while we're waiting for people to come on into chat, and we'll.
Yeah, so hi everyone, and thank you so much for having me. And of course, if you want to follow me on all socials, Irene spelled very simple.
There we go. And I actually forgot to mention this to you earlier. This month, what we're doing is charity donations to a charity, specifically Access Wilmington, which Cleric Dragoon's daughter participates in their adaptive recreational activities. She actually does wheelchair archery through them. So anyone who makes a PayPal donation tonight will be able to, one, ask a question live in chat, and two, they'll go ahead and help fund those activities. So anyone who would like to donate, feel free. The link is in the chat just now. So, and at the end of the month is when I'll be sending that check off to Access Wilmington, unless Hot Jukes also wants to go ahead and keep that. At the end of each month, we go ahead and we make a switch to the charity. So everyone feel free to go ahead and donate as you will. I know it's some potentially troubling times right now. So if you don't have the money, we appreciate just the host or the share and the retweets anytime we get this out, so that we both Eirene and myself can get a little added love. So.
All the love we can get.
So, like I was talking earlier with you, Eirene, what we do is pretty simple. It is a quick group of questions, pretty basic questions. So far, I'm running with the same questions that I have used with both Goon and Mr. Flip. Very simple questions. We'll start off with how did you get involved in the PUBG?
Alright, it's kind of like a long story, but I'm gonna make it short. So I used to previously play another game by Tencent very actively, but that game was going to go shut down because it was going no longer available to the different countries. And I was just very sad. So I was like, I had to find another game to keep myself occupied. Meanwhile, and I just happened to run into PUBG Mobile because I kept seeing there were ads everywhere. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna download it. I have the time. I'm not playing my previous game anymore, and that's how I got into it.
Alright. And I'm trying to remember when I first saw you on the scene. What season did you come in, or were you one of the OGs who came in even before the whole seasons thing came over from Fortnite?
No, I would consider myself OG in the sense like I've been here since season 1.
Okay.
So I started playing like I downloaded the game actually when it came out, which was end of March. And as well known now, PUBG Mobile is celebrating their second anniversary, 21st of March. But I didn't start playing the actual gameplay until end of April. But I was still in season 1.
All right. And you already mentioned kind of how you got involved, coming in from a different game. Since you are one of the season 1 OGs, and I know you play with quite a few of the comp players, as well as some other content creators. Have you seen any major changes in just gameplay style since the inception of the game?
Oh, definitely. It's definitely big changes. Not only in the scene, and not only with the players that I play with right now, but even in myself, I can see the difference. When I came in season 1 and to where we are now in season 12, it's how the meta changed that made people adapt to new techniques and styles.
Yeah, I know back when I first started, which was also, I think I started March of 18, maybe April.
Right.
Basically, like the first week it came out, because I had found Doctor Disrespect on clips on YouTube. Saw him, involved in PC, and then saw the ads for PUBG and mobile, and hopped on it basically first week or so that it was in. But at that point in time, it was AR, bolt action. That was the meta.
Right.
Which, with the exception of your dedicated snipers in comp play, I don't even know that you really see that much anymore. You have a few random guys who really still enjoy that, but it's almost anyone and everyone's wanting to go AK or barrel in a 5.5 weapon. Or is that basically what you're seeing? Or
yeah, that is what I see as well. And now many people are having their secondary gun like an SMG, which is like the Uzi.
Yep.
Especially now with the introduction into this new season that you can have Uzi with a scope.
Oh, that's
so
huge.
I see many players take advantage of that.
Yeah, I think that that red dot or hollow on the Uzi is huge.
Mm.
I mean, there's barely any recoil to begin with on the Uzi, and then when you go ahead and add that to the fire rate, it's broken.
It is insane weapon.
It scared me. I had a wire for my head. It scared the crap out of me right here. It's the light lighting up my green screen. Anyway, so I lost my train of thought with that. Okay, so thumbs or claw? What's your control method?
Okay, so it took a very long time to get where to the stage that I'm at, but I am now playing with a 4-finger claw setup. Before, previously, I started the game out thumbs with using the basic layout that the game provides. And I've been using thumbs for a very long time, maybe until season 6 or 7, until I was like forced to switch to 3-finger.
Okay.
And then, because thumbs is quite limited to how you can move with your, ADS.
Oh yeah.
And I knew that because I was obviously losing 1v1 fights where I could have taken the person on. So I was like, no, because I need to be able to move and shoot, and I couldn't do that with them. So I trained myself to do three finger claw, and that worked for a while. And then I was still limited by the three finger, and I was like, nope, I have to improve more to be able to do, quick scopes,
Yeah.
especially. And then that's how I got to playing with the four finger.
Awesome. Now, along with that, huge change in the meta went from thumbs, like you mentioned, to go into claw, which basically there were a few people Star Challenge 18 in the over NA who were playing claw, but it was mostly thumbs. And then,
Right.
from what I remember, it was the same over in EU. I don't know a whole lot of players over in your neck of the woods or in Asia, but I know a lot of the Asian players were running claw in that first Star
Yes,
Challenge.
Asians were quite ahead in terms of skills and technique.
Mm-hmm.
I would say EU and NA are on similar ground.
But with that change in meta, going from the thumbs to thumbs to claw, also seen a lot more gyro players. Even with those who are playing thumbs still, which there are a select few who still do that. Are you a gyro player as well, or?
I do play with gyro when I have scope on.
Okay.
I did try to do like full gyro, but I couldn't master it, and I didn't feel like it was a need to. So I stuck with using gyro on scope.
Yeah, I've actually I've gone full gyro here recently, which makes for a fun stream. I'm contemplating when I do my 24-hour stream that I'm going to go ahead and do a no right thumb game or two where it's nothing but gyro. I figure if nothing else, it'll be the most entertaining game for people in stream to watch. But
it's true.
I'll be spinning in circles. But no, your gyro sensitivity, like I max mine out, with the exception of my 6 and 8. I keep those at 10 and 7, I believe. Are you similar? Or are you? I mean, I can move around without my right thumb. I just do it because obviously
right.
don't want to be tied up with my headset. Um,
Right.
where are your sensitivity settings about?
My sensitivities are set on high.
Okay.
It's not much difference compared to the mid and low, but it's set on high. So I would say it's default settings.
Okay.
Not customized.
All right. And was that just it felt good when first time you tried it there, or?
Yeah, I thought it was good because obviously I'm no expert on recoil control. So if it was obviously too high, my phone would just like flip into the sky basically.
Okay.
So I would start shooting. But it was good enough to be able to control the recoil and still have movement.
Makes sense. And next we're going with what is your favorite map?
My favorite map is Sandhawk.
You're a Sandhawk fan.
I am.
Is that just a hot drop type deal? You just enjoy the intense action right off the jump, or aesthetics of the map, a mix of? What's your motivation?
It would be mostly, it's like a combination of everything. I like it because you can have a hot drop and at the same time you can play safe.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that it's strategic. You have to be very careful about your surroundings because obviously you have sneaks.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it also because it's short. It's that you don't need 30 minutes to play it.
True. That
and usually I don't have that much time, so it's a good 15-minute game.
That does help. A long game is what, 22 minutes, I think.
I think I played once 27 minutes on Erangel.
Oh,
Erangel was a
I'm in
Miramar, I can't
Sandhawk.
remember.
Sandhawk. I mean, 22 minutes
Sandhawk?
is a long, sweaty game. And they're on Sandhawk. What would you say is probably your favorite drop spot?
Well, I have two. When I play, there's two different sides to it. So when I play by myself, I like solo hot dropping. It would be either Paradise or Boot Camp.
Okay.
Definitely those two. If I'm playing with like either my friends or I'm playing like with my boyfriend,
Okay.
we always drop we call it Mongolia just for like funny sake of the name. It is a place that's top right, so like northeast. I think it's Mongai or something like that.
Yeah.
That's I can't remember the name, but it's northeast, top up there.
Yeah.
By the coast. That's like where we drop all the time, regardless wherever the plane path is.
And with Sandhawk being small, it's makes it a little easier to jump there, even if it's far away. So
Exactly.
now with Sandhawk being your favorite map, is it fair to assume that Miramar is your least favorite, or are you?
I wouldn't say least favorite. I just do not like to play it too often because the game is so long.
Okay. Do you
But
have a least
when
favorite?
it used to be before, no, I don't. I'm happy with either map that I get. Before I used to play a lot of Miramar when it was only Erangel Miramar. Before Sandhawk and Vikendi was introduced.
Okay. With the different map question, I know that my loadout preferences change from map to map. Do you also have that? Like, personally, I won't touch a vector unless I'm on Sandhawk. It just doesn't. It's a much more close quarter combat type map for me, and that's the only.
That's very true.
Are there any guns that are map specific to you, or is it really what you get is what you like, and you just run with what you find, or?
No, I mean, like for example, on Erangel, I'm fine with any gun that I find and have that I'm good with. So that's mostly most of the guns except the 7.62 guns I do not like.
Okay.
But like on Vikendi and Sandhawk, yeah, my secondary gun would be like a Vector.
Uh-huh.
On Miramar, my secondary gun would be like a sniper.
All right.
While most of the time I try to have a 5.56 gun as my primary.
That makes complete sense. Now, do you have like me personally? I don't like the 8x scope on any weapon. I think the field of view on it is subpar compared to your 6x. Now, are there any scopes that you prefer specifically? I know like Mr. Flip just doesn't want the 4 anymore. And I know quite a few guys who just don't want the 4 anymore. They want their 3 on their AR or submachine gun, and then they want a 6 or an 8, and that's it on their sniper. Do you fall into that category, or are you pretty much anything you can find is what you want to run?
I pretty much fall in that category. Of course, if you can't find, you have to make do with what you have. But
correct.
6x on the 3x would go on my AR. Sniper, I would be happy with any, whether it was a 4, 6, or an 8, as long as it's something that I can snipe with, basically.
Makes complete and total sense. Now, obviously, being a content creator, your number one goal when you're playing, other than having fun, is going to be getting kills. So you're trying to run into as many people as possible. Short of dropping hot, do you have any bit of advice for the classic crowds? You know, the guys who just want to play the classics, but still get those 10, 15 kill games. Basically, any advice for them to find more people?
Right. So obviously, if you're doing it for a content creation idea, you obviously want to get a good gameplay where you want a lot of kills.
Mm-hmm.
And key thing is that you do want to drop hot. So like in the very larger cities, populated areas where you think they would be. But at the same time, you can drop safe, meaning like a little bit further away from the people.
Mm-hmm.
But close enough so that you can actually grab on the action.
Okay.
So that I would suggest to do it like solo versus squads. That would be great for a content creator. Of course, there's never going to be a perfect situation where you'll get that many kills or win it.
Yeah.
So everything takes time. Like, I easily have to play maybe 10, 15 games in a row to like actually get one good game that's worth content.
Yeah.
But if you're like streaming, I would say kills are not that important. Streaming is more that you engage with your audience and you're engaging with your friends on stream who are playing with you. So you're doing different things, different I would say like different strategy together. You know, let's say like you can say like for example, let's all go either hot drop or let's go and hunt for crate supplies or supply crates, and we go like just or drive around city to city, just looking for people and like trying to mow them down. That's what I think streamers look out for.
Yeah. Personally, I don't play Sandhawk a lot just because I hate snakes. So I play a lot, mostly Eirene Gale and Miramar. That being said, and if you disagree, feel free to tell me. Tell me so. I found the best way is any and all rotations being made in a vehicle and going specific. If there's not a name on the map, that's not a cluster house as you want to go to. It's all about hard rotations into larger drop spots. Your Pachinkis, your smallest I like to go to is Gatka, and that's late game. So,
right. Yeah, that's also one way to do it. Go get in the car and go like house to house or compound to compound.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I guess I could have explained that a little better. Mainly hitting cities and your hot drop locations, because it seems to be your second rotations and third rotations, people coming in that way. Probably how I should have explained it a little better, but after that, a lot of guys I run into like to either love the red dot and hate the hollow, or hate the hollow and love the red dot. Do you have a personal preference as far as which optic you use?
Yes, I personally like the hollow. I've always had. I'm not a big fan of the red dot, but I do try to use it more often. But I know like a lot of my friends or a lot of my followers, they know this of me and they always make fun of me for it. But if they say if I like hollow or I like the but I have no opinion and any say that I make for anything any other weapon.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, I'll use either or. I like the hollow on an AR and a red dot on a pistol. I mean, other than that, it doesn't really matter to me. But a question I had last time I actually talked with Flip and Goon, they both really didn't have a hard number that they like to go with. I think, which was a number of smokes in the bag. I usually go 7. I know it's up until recently with the increased viewership and PMCO and the ESL tournaments,
Mhm.
with the end circle being nothing but smoke and people shooting randomly through that smoke. Um, there it was probably the most underutilized throwable. Uh, how many smokes do you typically try and run in your bag?
I have my smoke set to 4 pieces,
Okay,
not too many.
not too many.
Um, Most of the time, I always forget to use them. That's my negative side of it.
Yeah, I can't say that I'm the best at smoking out those situations properly. Um, other than a downed teammate, I usually probably don't use them quite properly. Um,
Yeah, I'm the same. I always forget. I'm like, oh, I have to smoke this. Or like, if I'm trying to run into the zone from the blue zone, I'm
yeah.
like, then I get killed on the way. I'm like, no, dang it, I should have smoked my way in. I always forget those.
Now, with you being there in the UAE, which server do you typically play on the most?
I always, when I'm by myself, I try and play on the Middle East server and the Europe server.
Okay.
If I'm playing with friends, which are mostly like NA people, I
Mm-hmm.
play on their server.
Now, is that mainly just because of the viewership that's associated with Omen, or is is that just people you've learned or you've met through the scene, or
I've always played on North American servers since season 1.
okay?
Because that's the first scene I got into. So I didn't get into the European scene because it was not there at the time. The European scene only came recently, maybe after season 8.
Okay. Yeah.
That's when they started to get more active, and that's when I was like started seeing them in the scene, and I got to know the different teams. But I started out in NA, and that's where I build my brand or my image, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
in NA. And now, only recently, I'm starting to build myself in EU and ME.
Now, with that being said, the adaptation of, or not adaptation, the recent incarnation of the European scene. Because like you had mentioned, I mean, there weren't really any main or big names in the comp scene up until you know 8 with 8 or 9, or sorry, season 8 or 9. Um, have you seen any huge leaps in quality of play there in Europe? I know my buddy Imperium was just impressed with the progress that's been made in just those couple months. Is that something you're noticing as well, or?
Yeah, definitely. Since the last PMCO,
Yep.
and then this now PMCO is 2020. Uh, it's big difference. You have more competition. You have more intense action. So they're practicing. I know they have, especially now they have the platform to practice. They have more scrims, more servers, and more people are doing that for them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not only the NA scene, it's not only the Asian scene, but EU is getting that same how would I say, exposure.
Yep. Yeah, a lot more exposure and a lot more attention definitely helps with the growth and the skill level.
Yeah, so when you have that person, they want to improve themselves and they want to do better. Especially now, you have organizations coming into the scene, picking up teams, and they're seeing like, okay, if I want to be picked up, this is what I have to do. This is
Mm-hmm.
what I have to do to get better, to be involved, and to be a part of the esport, basically.
Yep. Let's see. We already talked about other games that you play. Increased number. Is there any player NA that you have yet to play with that you would specifically like to grab some games with?
I mean, there's a lot of so I know everyone, not everyone. I would say I know majority of the NA pro players.
Mm-hmm.
I have not played with everyone. I've played with guys that I've mostly been on the teams with. So I've played with everyone that's out. Played with everyone that's been in. And I've played with everyone that's been in the previous wildcard team, basically, the new one. Maybe if I would actually love to get a game with Acer.
Acer?
Wildcard.
All right. I know from time to time Wicked watches the stream. So, Wicked, if you're one of the people lurking in chat, make it happen. You know the guy. All right? Hook Eirene up. You know Eirene. Everyone loves her. Go ahead and make it happen for her.
Nah, I'm afraid I'm just gonna potato and die every time.
The next time you log into the game, you'll have a friend invite from him. No, you probably won't because he doesn't watch my stream. But see, outside of the game, wait a second. No, I have a couple more I missed. Graphic options. Are you going with the smooth and extreme like most others, or are you bumping up your graphics a little bit to get the cleaner image?
My graphics are set to default. That's in my device, so it's HD and high.
Okay. So that.
And yeah, basic, classic.
That explains the extra crisp image of your streams compared to other people, especially other people running a similar setup that you'd run. Which I saw your YouTube video here recently on the how to stream through Omelet, which I thought was a awesome video.
Thank you.
And had I seen that when I first started, it would have been beneficial. So those who have not seen that, go ahead and hop on YouTube, check out her stream. I'll actually go ahead and put links in the chat here in a little while for that. And so, outside of the game, are there any specific hobbies you have? I can only assume that PUBG isn't your entire life.
Would you be surprised if I said yes, it was?
No, because a lot of gamers, if they could get by doing nothing but playing games, they would.
Yeah, but it's not mostly gameplay because I do not play as often as I should. It's mostly I do a lot of. So I have my full-time job, work 8 to 4, and then of course I do the rest of the other free time after work is a lot of esports management and community management for PUBG Mobile. So I work and volunteer on behalf of them and doing all their socials, I would say.
All right.
So I'm one of the people who's helping and managing, like, for example, the Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook page of the esports PUBG Mobile.
So you are rather busy, is what you're telling us. I said, so what you're telling us is you're a rather busy person.
Busy person, indeed, with the community.
Now, maybe not everyone knows, but can you give us a rundown where you're from as compared to where you're living?
Yeah, so I am from Sweden, so I'm Swedish. That's in Europe, if nobody knows geography. And and I currently live in the Middle East, which is the United Arab Emirates. And of course, if nobody knows where that is, that's where Dubai basically is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what most people associate it to. And yeah, been living here for the last 10 years. I studied here, and I got my first job here.
That is awesome. We talked a little bit before the stream, and been to UAE a few times, and I got a cousin who works over there quite frequently, and it's a beautiful place to be. Hot as hell, but a beautiful place to be. So.
It is hot in the summer. God, you would not want to be here.
Oh,
just saying.
The only place I've ever been that was any worse with heat and humidity was in Kuwait in the middle of August when they had their first thunderstorm in like 15 years. And we had like 86% humidity for a week. It was ridiculous. But
imagine we have that kind of humidity here the whole year almost.
I must have lucked out because it was not. It was in the mid 70s for humidity levels whenever I was there. But we have Rager hitting on you in the chat. I know you're on your device. We're actually using in-game chats through on PUBG, and that's how we're getting her signal. But Rager's letting me know that your voice is the sweetest thing he has ever heard. So.
Aww, thank you, Rager.
And that it could save us from Corona.
I have a lot of people say that.
So, the only thing I have to say to that is, Rager, I don't think it's going to save us from Corona. I do believe that's a malaria treatment currently is the hope that we have. So, but the last little bit of questions I have are all questions related just to random goofy stuff. So two of them, unless you've been to America much, you probably do not have a answer to, but that's fine. First one on the list is pizza. Is it a food that should have pineapple on it? Yes or no?
God no.
God no.
God no.
God no. All right.
You did not mix sweet and savory together.
Oh,
that's an abomination. Okay, I'm just saying it's abomination.
All right. Well, there we go. Eirene hates pineapple on her pizza. Sushi is that no go or is that something?
That's a big go.
Big
I'm a sushi lover.
All right, and then aside from that, do you like tempura rolls or just your standard seaweed wrap?
I like both.
Both. All right. And then
I've eaten everything that's sushi related.
I love me some sushi, and we got some pretty decent places considering it's in the middle of America over by me. So, once again, anyone in chat, if you want to go ahead and donate to Access of Wilmington, that goes to the charity as well as it gets your questions asked live here on chat. I'll go ahead and throw that in the chat one more time. Which that is a charity that does adaptive recreational activities for special needs kids specifically. So, and if you want to see some of the work that they do, you can actually hop on Cleric Dragoon's Instagram page and actually watch his daughter competing in archery tournament, which they sponsor and are involved in. So, now, have you been to the U.S. before, or is that a...
No, I've never been, but I am planning and hoping. I originally planned to visit the U.S. this April, but things of course happened. One, I got sick, I couldn't come. Two, now this whole quarantine thing is happening, and honestly, we cannot travel.
Yeah, that definitely does make it a little bit harder to come stateside. Reason I ask was last two questions I've been asking are whether people like Whataburger or In-N-Out, which obviously if you've never been here, you can't have a informed opinion.
We do have In-N-Outs here.
Oh,
so
see,
I do like
I
it.
did not know that. The only burger place I had seen on when I was there was a Burger King, and that was on a military installation. So,
No, we do have Five Guys. We have In-N-Outs here.
okay.
Shake Shack we have as well. We pretty much have all like different food chains. That's it's Americanized food chains.
Now, do you guys have Chick-fil-A there? That's the important question.
That's the one thing we do not have. I've never been to one, but I don't think we have one. Let me just check the Chick-fil-A. No, there's no Chick-fil-A here. No.
Oh, you're missing out.
I know, so I've heard.
I mean, it's God's chicken. I mean, there's no.
It's like a better version of KFC, I guess.
Sorry, hold on one second. I got kids screaming and yelling down here. Give me 30 seconds.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, buddy. Great. All right. The little Timbo, who you talked to earlier, was he doesn't understand that headset means that you're much louder than you can hear. So he was screaming and yelling. So that actually concludes the list of questions I had, which I don't know if there's anything in particular that you'd like to talk about, anything that you have coming up that you would like to discuss. Quite often these discussions come with like Goon or Flip getting off in the weeds rather easily. This was stayed on topic much better than we had previously. So, anything in particular you'd like to plug?
Well, nothing. How do I say? Probably in my perspective and mindset that I've come now more onto the YouTube side of things. So I'm uploading more videos.
Yep.
I'm trying to be more consistent and more active on that platform. Opposed to streaming on Twitch because obviously there's like two disadvantages for me for streaming. One is that I do not always have good internet, so it's always hard to stick to a schedule.
That definitely helps having a solid connection.
And the other one is time. Even though like I was saying like I will stream like twice a week on a set time, but it never comes to happen. I'm like always busy at that hour when I'm supposed to stream, for example.
Yeah.
So instead, I've opted to do more content creating, like more videos to YouTube, and I found that much easier to do.
Yeah, I mean it definitely seems like it's easier to do. You can screen record and grab games when and where you can, and hopefully you'll luck out with some bangers early in your session, and you don't have to go for hours.
That's very, very true.
So, I'll go ahead and plug your socials real quick. We have your Twitter, which is at Eirene Shell. And what was that? Oops, sorry, you cut in and out.
I was like, yes, that's my Twitter.
And your YouTube is youtube.com/Irene Shell. And any others? We on Instagram. I have not seen that if you are, and I do apologize if you are.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram also, Irene Shell.
And sorry, I didn't hear if you had said where that was.
Irene Shell on Instagram.
You got the branding, it sounds like.
Yeah.
That definitely helps when all consistent. So
I'm very lucky because nobody has my name.
that does help. I went ahead and made the choice to go with a rather abnormal name, and but yet somehow someone still already has the Timbo X Slice on Twitch. So but that being said, anyone who has stopped by, please go ahead and check out Eirene and her socials. If you haven't followed, like Rager's saying in the chat, you're really missing out. It's good content, and Rager also brings up the fact that there's quite a few giveaways that you have going.
Yes.
So even if for some reason you don't enjoy good content, you just want free shit, I guess you could be that guy and follow her for that reason as well. But there, like I said,
never hurts to follow for free.
She'll take the follows any way she can. You know, we got her YouTube content. I got pulled up right now. You know, she's got the how to stream on Android. You know, she's got surprise unboxing for her VIP care package. Another video on her second anniversary. You know, come join the celebration, as well as some free coupon openings and some Elite Pass giveaways for Season 12. So everyone needs to go ahead and check her out. I personally follow on YouTube and Twitter. So give her a follow, and we'll also be having links in the description on the YouTube video after this gets edited and put out. So everyone go ahead and give her a follow. Eirene, is there anything you'd like to leave people with, or?
No, not much. Just for everyone, you know, to stay safe out there, especially in this time, that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out for yourself, your friends, and your family.
Yep.
And stay gamers. You know, game every day.
Yep. And wash your damn hands, people. Seriously, wash your hands. That's like the easiest thing you can do to help. So,
It is.
That being said, we'd like to thank you for stopping in and coming live from Spawn Island with us.
Thank you so much for having me and giving me the opportunity.
And for those of you who don't know, this was literally a few hours. I shot her a message on, I think, Twitter saying, hey, you know, this is what we're doing. Podcast we're doing. Way to showcase yourself, get your name out there a little bit more than it already is. And she was like, all right, let's do this. How does 5 Central sound? So that's what we're doing. And I'd like to thank her for being so eager, as well as so accommodating with the unconventional method that we did, which, grab my camera. Bye, everybody. How we're doing this. We are literally just sitting here in game, talking, microphone next to the iPad. So it's hopefully sound quality was okay for everybody in chat. It was definitely a new way of doing things for both of us, I'm sure. But with the restrictions she has, it's not exactly a regular and easy way for her to go about doing similar things. So I'd like to thank her for working through this with me, because we probably spent what, half an hour before we started just getting things situated. So
No, I appreciate you accommodating that. This how we're supposed to, call and talk. So not easy, definitely.
So it was my pleasure. Next time we know the quickest, easiest way to go about it is just going to be going ahead and hopping in game and attacking it that way. So once again, everyone who stopped by chat, MGC, thank you for the follow. Omen, Elite, I don't know if you knew this or not. Your org went ahead and retweeted, as well as I think MGC Corp also went ahead and retweeted this. So for everyone who did, greatly appreciated it. And we will go ahead and see you guys, I think, next week. We will be on with Hot Jukes, I think it is. So everyone who stopped by, we appreciate you. And Eirene, feel free to shoot me an invite for some games if you ever want to catch them. And I will appreciate the carry. So
You'll be carrying me.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for stopping by, and we will see you next time.